episode of Jacksonville Buzz's Buzzworthy Businesses. I'm Steve Strum. Sitting next to me, as always, Dave Permenter. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, buddy. Good to see you.
It's good to see you, but I see you all the time. Who is this Amber Shah lady from Momentum Realty? I think we got a loaded interview today, man.
Yeah, we do. We're going to have a lot of fun today, Amber. Welcome to the set. Love to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what you do in the real estate world. You have a few stories to tell, but let's start with real estate.
Always have stories. So I'm in real estate, and I'm with Momentum Realty out of Jacksonville, but I focus on the St. Augustine area, and we're just having fun. So I get a lot of referrals from just people that I know, and I moved here 4 years ago from Massachusetts, and I've moved almost 20 times my entire life.
Wow.
So I'm a relocation expert, and just remembering what to take with you and leave the rest behind. Yeah,
that's a lot of times to have to move.
No military involved in that?
My dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
As I say, because based off of your age, then that's once a year. That's an average.
On average.
There you go. Well, once a year for 20 years. So, in your experience, traveling all around, how did you end up getting into the real estate world?
So back in 2013 was when I bought my first house, and one of my friends was my realtor. And I was like, that looks not too hard. I bet I could do that. And then I moved here back in 2021, and I was having a hard time finding a job, honestly. And I had gone back to school right before I went here. And in 2022, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in business. So now I have that. And then I was like, well, what next? And I was still just not wanting to do anything that I did before. And I figured that a lot of people were moving here.
One of the top 5 growing economic forces in the United States today. So what are some of the tips and tricks and things that you think that you would like to share with the audience with what you're seeing in the real estate market? Because that's like a big thing, right? It's usually the largest investment anybody makes is a house. A lot of people are freaked out about rates and house pricing and all that stuff. What are some of the things that you're seeing out there that you'd love to share with our audience as they're considering what their moves are in real estate?
Absolutely. Well, there are 3 things that I'm seeing in particular. Is number 1, people are having a hard time getting the down payment. And there are some zero down programs that are available, but you still have to have around $3,000 minimum at the end of the day. I've been able to help some people that have zero, close to zero, and just needed to move and could not afford rent. But we knew some zero down programs that they were able to qualify for. And I was able to, I think the best one that I was able to do was 800 out of closing.
Wow.
Yeah. They actually put 1,000 down and got 200 back.
That's about as close to free as you can get.
It is. And that's the problem, because people are just being misled, so getting a good realtor that can explain to you things in plain English, as if I was talking to my mother who barely speaks English. But guess what? She never taught me her language. So,
is she Italian or Korean?
She's Korean.
Korean.
Yes. So she's Korean. She speaks a lot of English, but there are just many things that she just doesn't understand. And then you have to explain them to her like a kindergartner. So I love doing that for other people because it makes a big difference for them, And even just in January, I had a 73-year-old man who had a VA loan. And again, it was very close to zero down. I think he might have spent just over 1,000 at the end of the day for closing, got a zero down VA loan. But also there are inspections, and sure. They don't want to take the inspections because they cost extra money for the inspections. They don't have the out of pocket. It's really upsetting that people are just unprepared.
Risky stuff.
It is,
And so one of the things you do in the community as well is you also have a podcast. So you have a platform by which you can tell and talk to people about things that you're seeing that are out there. What's the name of your podcast, and what's that all about?
Balancing Unhinged. Balancing Unhinged is my wellness podcast. It's based on the 8 dimensions of wellness. And I'm also a yoga teacher. So the 8 dimensions of wellness kind of marry with the 8 limbs of yoga. And on my podcast, I talk about all different aspects of life, including all different 8 aspects of the dimensions of wellness. So there's financial, spiritual, environmental, emotional, a few others, that you could Google them, financial them. So, and I'm also a mother, and I run around a lot. And as a matter of fact, right now my husband's traveling in Vegas, so I was just calling him on the way here, and I was like, "Oh no, I missed my exit. I gotta go."
Does he have the kids, or are they at the house?
They're at the house. So
Well, at that age, they're younger, right? So you can still control them with duct tape, so it's fine. It's the shackles.
My
later.
son is strong.
It's the shackles as teenagers is kind of a felony. So, okay, so you have the real estate thing, you do the podcast thing on the 8 dimensions of wellness, and then you're kind of talking about this thing coming up here in the next few weeks, which is consistent with your 29th again birthday.
29 again.
29 again. And so it's about International Yoga Day, right? Did I
Yes,
get that
sir.
right? All right,
International
so tell us
Day of
about that.
Yoga.
As we take it away. Tell us about that last little bit.
Thanks so much, Steve. So the International Day of Yoga is on June 21st, and they made it the International Day of Yoga 11 years ago. So this is the 11th National Day of Yoga, International Day of Yoga, and it coincides with my birthday.
And the first day of summer.
And the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. So I'm going to be holding a yoga class at the St. Augustine Beach Art Studio and Gallery, or Gallery and Studio. And it's right down by the beach, and we're going to follow that up across the street at Krabby's for some birthday mimosas. So everybody's
it's an
welcome.
adult yoga session.
Absolutely. I mean, the kids can come, but they have to donate their mimosa to the birthday girl.
I understand the concept. And you can't drink the mimosa while doing yoga because that's bad.
We tried that a few
many-
Thanksgivings ago, and then a few of us forgot about the turkey.
Everybody falls over. Like, I got into the pose, and then you just see everybody. So, well, all right. So we got a lot of stuff. There are so many things that we can cover. We have a whole segment just on the podcast side, right? So you got the real estate thing, got the podcast thing, got the yoga thing. You turn 29 again, which is great. What we'll do is we'll make sure to take all of your links and put them on our website so people can come check you out, whether it's the podcast piece, the real estate piece, the yoga party, all the things. And our website is thedailynewsnetwork.com, and then we'll just put all your stuff there so you can check you out and find out what the heck is going on in your world and how they can be a part of it.
Fantastic. You guys can come to Amberland whenever you want.
Amberland, and I
Has a
think
nice ring to it.
You should sign up for the yoga.
I do yoga 5 days a week.
Do you?
Actually,
I think you should. Because that would be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like last time I did yoga, there was the one where you stood on your head and I literally passed out.
You know what?
Like in the middle of the yoga thing, it was quite embarrassing. It was hot yoga and it was way too hot. And it was South Florida, so I think it's hot by design. I'm like, well, isn't regular yoga hot? So, with that being said, as we take it away, in the world that you live and in the impact that you're making for people, for the folks that are listening to this and watching this episode, what's that one thing you want to leave them with? Whether it's the real estate, the podcast, Steve passing out in yoga, whatever that thing is, what's that one thing that you want them to see?
I think the most important thing that you can be is yourself, and not try to be anyone else, because then you're lying to yourself and then you have to remember all your lies. I think Mark Twain said something like that.
It was posted on a judge's bench.
Yes.
Remember to always tell the truth or never lie, then you never have to remember what you said.
Yes.
It's very true.
Yes, I like that.
Well, there you go. So always tell the truth, and then you don't have to remember what the lies are and who you lied them to. So,
So I talk a lot, but it's
yeah.
rapid,
I
it
understand
just
the
keeps
concept,
going.
man. So thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
And of course, you're okay.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But she's
Thank
okay
you.
too. But it's these guys.
We were hanging out last week.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard that. So I got to be on that invite. Apparently, I had to invite myself. So
Well, you've been before.
I understand a long time ago. Pre-COVID.
Village B2B.
I understand. We'll be there the next time.
There's
So,
a whole soiree.
for you, what we're going to do is we're going to put all our stuff on the website. For these guys here, thank you so much for joining us on the episode today. If you like us, share us. Remember to live with gratitude, and check her out on thedailynewsnetwork.com for all the fun ways that you can get it to Amber Land.
Our mission at Generation Media is to build positive word of mouth for our clients and the audiences that we serve. We hyper-target the most affluent audiences and focus our clients' marketing dollars right where they need to be with little to no waste. I'm David Permenter, founder and president of Generation Media, and we would love to have a short discovery call with you by phone or Zoom to see if we can help you reach your ideal clients.